Yo, it's really hard to tell if this is the next video because I was editing it and it's like 40 minutes long. So let's say this is next episode, maybe. Tightened up some coolant lines that were leaking, put the clutch fan on so I can finally get this thing up to temp because it was getting up to like 210, 220. So shut it off. Been working on the tune a little bit. The tune is getting there without a wideband, but we're gonna get an O2 bung welded on the downpipe today so we can actually tune it. Yeah, let's see. So if you've seen the previous clip, the idle was super high because the blade was slightly cracked open, which pretty much means like ignore the smoke, it's just old crap burning off, but the car actually maintained temps, which is good. The throttle cable has like a lot of tension on here, so I need to figure out what I can do regarding that. That's annoying. Let me see. All right, looked around, and shout out to Luis for showing me this. So you see that hole right there? There's like a screw hole. So you gotta adjust that to get rid of the slack. You see how the blade is slightly open? So we wanna get rid of that. So I'm gonna adjust it. If we could do it from here. Let's see. I'm gonna do this off camera. All right, so I ran out of adjustment on the cable. So what I did is I backed it all the way back, tightened it, and tightening it pretty much brought out the slack. It's like a little bit, but it's the most I could do right now. So I'll see if I could get the flat head and maybe get a little bit more adjustment, but we'll see if the idle drops. All right, huge shout out for Declan for coming through. Car is all squared away. I definitely need to raise the fronts. Just kind of here, sitting here, trying to figure out. Still need to hook up the brake booster. And then I'm just working on the intercooler piping. So I'm gonna cut some piping. And yeah, I'm gonna register her tomorrow or put it back on the road. And we'll drive it. I'm more concerned about not having an air filter though, so definitely don't feel comfortable really driving until I figure out something with that. Maybe I'll try to hook up the power steering tonight too, so we'll see, but it's been a journey for sure, so yeah. The car is legal, sick. Just need to keep this paperwork. Still have the same plates. Awesome, car is legal. Hopefully I'll pick up the downpipe today, and then hopefully I can get a quote from an exhaust shop to do the rest of the exhaust. And I'm driving it to work today, so we'll see how that goes. All right, got the brake booster thing handled. So I used the coolant hose that goes from the rear iron to like the thermo wax, or no, the rear iron to like the back valve. And it actually, I just cut it and like it fits pretty good. And then I used the original OEM NA hard line in between. I finally found that, and then just bolt it down, and then it's all good to go. So now we have brakes. All right, raising the car right now, getting it where I think is ideal for streeting it for the time being. So from that top black piece right by the spring to the threads, it's about 2 1/4. So that's our target here. So looks like we'll just adjust the other side and see how it looks. So yeah. All right, I raised the car. Now my wheels don't hit the fender. It's still pretty bad. Please don't look at my fenders. I know That's what happens when you let your friends borrow your wheels and then you have the wrong size wheels because these wheels aren't even supposed to be up front. The offset is plus 12 and I usually run plus 25, which makes a huge difference on 17x8s because it pushes it further in. But I'm stuck with this right now. And with this tire, which is literally a 215, I believe, or a 225, it's just much. The only thing, I think it's raking a bit. Kind of looks like trash. Let's see. Is there a rake? Do y'all see the rake? It's whatever. All right, got the downpipe in with the new wideband and everything hooked up to the CAN Lambda. Still need to mount that up, but let me set it up in the ECU and see if we have a Lambda reading that we can reference now. So yeah. All right, CAN Lambda is wired properly. So red is power, red is power, black is ground. The top one, the one at the top is CAN high, and then the one at the bottom is CAN low. So if you guys are ever trying to do the same thing, that's the correct wiring. And just to make sure I wire that, yeah. So the one at the top, CAN high, the one at the bottom, CAN low. So yeah, that's how you wire up a CAN Lambda properly. Hopefully this works. I think I just need to bleed the cooling system again. I don't know, but we'll check that. And then for the CAN Lambda, I'm still trying to fix that. So let's see what happens. I have no idea what happened, but it's still nothing. We finally have errors we can see underneath ECU status and runtime values. Heated too long. Open circuit. I don't know. Alright, let's try to bleed the coolant system. This is part of my kit. Little red thing, and then Mr. B. And there was no coolant in there. That's terrible. Topped off the coolant, and all of a sudden it started climbing up to 220, 230 again. I reused my thermostat, and I'm starting to think that this thermostat's bad. Great. All right, I just got back from work, and shout out to my buddy Will. He hooked it up while I was at work because every place closes by the time I'm out of work. And he got me a new thermostat. Hopefully this fixes my problem so we don't have to pull this engine out. Hopefully I can bleed the cooling system, and if not, well, that would suck. So, new thermostat, gonna throw this in. All right, that's all squared away. I'm just gonna let the RTB heal, and plus, it's late, can't start this car because neighbors are gonna get mad. They already don't like this car. Parents are gonna get mad. You know, the whole thing. Guess while I'm here, I'm gonna wire the tack up, and then I'm going to actually fix the CAN Lambda. So since I have the CAN Lambda and the ECU on the same power source, that is not a ideal thing. So I had to give the CAN Lambda its own relay on 10 amps. Now, how am I gonna go about doing it? I guess I'm gonna do that. So I guess whoever has issues with the CAN Lambda, I can show you guys how to go about doing it. So there's that. I don't know if I'm dumb. There's coolant in there, right? So I just top it off. After 10-15 minutes, it's empty. But it's not leaking anywhere. I'm gonna jack the car. I need to see what the hell's going on. So car holds 180 degrees. I started it up and figured that out. If you guys know, I have Turbo 2 housings with the coolant freeze plugs from Pineapple, and there's no provisions for anything like that on an NA intake manifold. I don't know what to do. I could spray copper, like RTV stuff on the gasket, but I don't even think that's gonna completely seal. Let's put RTV around it. I'm unsure. Not sure what to do. I guess this is a video on how to install freeze plugs. So, I installed the Pineapple Racing freeze plugs incorrectly. I had a hard time and I didn't put it in evenly and yada yada yada. Didn't put red RTV around it, so it's not sealing properly. No, I don't need the O-ring, so I'm gonna have to take the turbo and the upper and, well, everything off to get to this, and I have work in an hour. So I'm having a friend get it for me while I'm at work, and then I'm gonna probably bang it out tonight, and hopefully it doesn't leak coolant, and then I gotta fix the wideband, then I gotta wire up the tag. All right, we got everything off. Look at that. Yeah, that's the source of a coolant leak. Oh, that's so bad. The oldies all mangled up. The new ones, you gotta seal it with some red RTV around the corners and inside. So we're gonna do that. This sucks. All right, we got RTV, red RTV around the corners. And then I'm gonna use 3/8 socket drive thing and hammer it in lightly.
I would get a granny steering wheel.
All right, so 3/8 extension and that, and I'm just gonna hammer it in. All right.
Oh shit.
It's in, like, all the way. Got that red RTV. Good shit. Shout out to my boys. Don't ever do that again. Don't do that Framingham shit here. All right, everything's back together. We put coolant in it. All the lines are tight. Downpipe is in, everything's in. I'll start up in the morning and hopefully it doesn't leak coolant anymore. Thank you so much, guys.
Hell yeah. 49 balls.
All right, I'm highly convinced that this is the source of my coolant leak. So for reference, when I put the Teflon tape, there was actually no torque. It wasn't even in all the way. It just snapped like in half with no force at all. So this shit's junk. Don't buy Amazon AN fittings or adapters because shit like this will happen. So not much I can do right now, but order a new one that's good. All right, we're back. Went to the local speed shop. Dude, this camera's fucked. All right, we're back. Went to the local speed shop. Got that 45-degree coupler and two clamps that I needed, but this is the important thing that we needed. So, Red Horse makes, these things here. So it's a 1/8 MPT to 6AN male-to-male adapter. We're gonna wrap this in Teflon tape and hope that this seals. And if it still leaks, we gotta pull this engine out. Put the intake manifold back in and plugged everything back in. And honestly, I don't know what's gonna fix this. So we'll see if it fixed it. We'll see if we fixed it. For some reason, I have my own doubts, but we'll see. Had the car running for literally, let's say, a minute. Let's see. You see that? Coolant pulling on the top of the intake manifold. That's great. That's wonderful. Fuck. So, as you saw, it's leaking coolant. I ordered these on Friday and they came in today. It's the same day. This just happened a few minutes ago. I just happened to have these. These are intake O-rings, part number 825713113 from Atkins Rotary. These two sit flush on where the coolant groove is on the housing. Now, I don't have to pull my whole intake manifold off. I have to unbolt it, and I'll be able to slide these in. And let's just pray this fixes it, because I'm going through the pain for whoever's doing a similar setup, so they don't have to go through what I am going through, because I'm about to lose it. So let's throw this in. I'm not even gonna film it, and see if it still leaks. All right. O-rings are in, pretty flush. Let's just make sure it's flush. Perfect. We got our NA intake manifold. So if you see, like so, should squeeze against it. Perfect. Move this connector out of the way. And then let me try to put the intake manifold back on. And bam, just like that, everything's back together. Downpipe's back on. The whole shabam. I guess we'll test it. I need to go take care of some stuff inside. So I'll be back. Yeah, some stuff is going on with this starter. That is not normal, so that starter is bad. Looks like the crusty one wins again. Nice. Poured some oil into the spark plug holes and it fired right up. So that's great and all. Doesn't sound great. Put some oil in the chambers, and I don't know where my keys are. Let's see. Oh. Let's make some changes in the tune, blah, 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 whatever. God damn it. Weird. So we're in the next morning and I tried to start up the car and it wouldn't start. So I have my pile of spark plugs, right? Take brake clean and a brush. A brush like this. And then this use the ignition test in the link to see how strong the spark is. If it's not arcing out of the spark plug and it's barely sparking, don't use that spark plug. The moment I swapped them out, car started in 2 turns. 9s on the trailings and 7s on the leadings. Car likes it a lot more. Switched out the map sensor location. Let me show you. So now we have a good map sensor reading over here. Sounds a lot better, I like it, but wideband still doesn't work. Right. It's Monday, waiting on the resistor still so we don't have a wideband, but I just got my coolant temp gauge working. So let me show you guys my settings. So I just made it, if my laptop doesn't freeze on me, I just made a PWM output. So here are my settings over here. So it's on an auxiliary output for my coolant temp to the gauge. And then I made a PWM output table that looks like this. And so far, it doesn't look too bad. It's reading 167, so I'd prefer it to be a little below. So I'm gonna try to play around with it more and show you guys my table. All right, here's my output table at 5,000 hertz at the frequency. You see, these are my settings. So now I have my ECU controlling my coolant temp on the cluster. Pretty exciting stuff. All right, this is super ghetto. I know it looks bad, but this should work. Now what is this? This is like a little ground sub harness, because using signal grounds for my ECU is most likely causing my car to not just misfire, but have inadequate spark on my spark plugs. So hopefully this fixes it. Let me go open up my computer and do some stuff with the tune. Fired right up with new plugs, so it was just the plugs. And I moved the car, finally. She moves. What a sight. At my old high school, car drives. The tune needs a lot of work. I'm surprised I made it here, but we did it. I'm proud of myself. It would really be nice to have a wideband, but this is so sick. I can't believe it. This is the high school where I literally sat in class dreaming of owning something like this, so insane. Idle looks great, and made some changes in the tune. It's mostly with the idle stuff, so this is what I have right now. Now this stuff is like really aggressive and super off, but this is just like I'm running the back valve at 300 hertz, and then I'm also running it with idle by ignition at the same time in parallel to pretty much help the back valve so I don't lose idle control. And then this is my idle base table, and then right now I have my target RPM set at 1200 globally, so far not bad. We're currently idling around 1100 right now, which is awesome, so no complaints there. And magically started working, so I just decided to log it and take a drive. So using the mixture map function to clean up the fuel map. So yeah, lots of samples, so we're gonna clean it up. Tune in. I drove it so far like 10 miles. Pretty exciting. We're at Best Buy. Gonna keep driving it, clean up the tune. Bam. Just tuning it for like cruising right now, and then we're gonna go from there. Might get some gas, might go home. We'll see. So I'm getting gas. And $5.99 a gallon. And the gas pump doesn't work. Alright, I got a intake air temp sensor AC Delco, part number 213-190. So this is the GM one. Gonna screw it in. Drilled and tapped it earlier, so this is actually causing my tune to do some finicky things because the model's fuel equation and the link is dependent on the IAT sensor and makes per every 10 degrees 3% fuel difference, regardless if you have your IAT table zeroed out and your charge temp stuff. So that's actually how it calculates for the fueling. And right now, as I'm tuning the fueling table, nothing's really looking right, so this should hopefully fix my issues. All right, back home, got something to eat. As you can see, drilled and tapped it for 3/8 MPT so I can install the intake air temp sensor. So now we finally have an intake air temp sensor. So I'm gonna put this back in the car, and then bam. I think there's metal crap in here, so I might clean it out too. All right, everything's installed. We got our intake air temp sensor, as you can see, kind of tucked away. All right, here's a better shot. Right, like that. Bay is starting to look dirty. I don't like that. I need to clean it up a little bit, but everything's still a work in progress, so I won't tidy up anything in the bay just yet. But I don't know if I mentioned, I got this little thing. Super important, because if my throttle cable touches the positive cable, that can cause a fire or ground out issue. So that's good. I've seen it happen before. That's why that's worth the $30 to get it from JP3. They sell it. Super rad piece. Looks good. Let's see if the intake air temp sensor is working. I already have the ECU like configured for the Delphi IAT. So key is on. As you can hear, the fuel pump is on. Nice. Computer crashed. Be right back. All right, haven't done an update on the car, so I haven't really done anything since the previous clips or whatever was last filmed. As you can see, this is my buddy Will. He's one of my close friends from high school. This is his NA6 1.6 Miata, fully stock. We picked it up together. We actually drove the FC to New Hampshire when we picked it up, so it's super rad. Will, like, always really wanted to get into cars. Like, well, he always was, but like this is like his first true platform. So he got this Kraken turbo kit with Garrett, I forget, but it's a really good turbo, super high quality stuff. So he saved up his pennies, got all the good stuff. So we've been piecing this all together. So we took out all the stock stuff, you know, so this should be fun. I might actually film some of this. We got AM wideband, glow shift boost gauge, Mega Squirt 2 PNP, and I'm going to be tuning it and wiring it up. But it's at my place for the week, so we can get all this turbo stuff together. It's super tricky since we're keeping AC and power steering, so maybe I'll film that for anyone that's trying to do the same stuff with this exact kit. But for my car, I had an issue where my idle was really erratic. So what happened was my throttle cable was so tight that it was sticking and cracking open my like even just a little bit, as you can see, just like that, to cause my idle to bump up by like 1400, 1500, and it was so loud and obnoxious. So what I did was, there's 2 bolt holes. I just ended up using 1 bolt hole and pushed it forward so I could have the throttle cable bracket be closer instead of further back. And that should fix this problem. So I'm just doing that, and then I pretty much disabled the idle air control valve. Where is it? Right over there. I was having a lot of issues, so I found that you can actually adjust the idle with this screw over here. So this lever over here, that really adjusts your idle. So it opens up the plates. You can actually hear it inside the throttle body. So yeah, adjusting the screw will adjust your idle, and the Link ECU does a really good job of doing idle by ignition. So that's super rad, and I haven't had any issues. Again, I've driven the car so far around 40 miles or so. I just kept fouling spark plugs nonstop. It was running so rich, so I can't really focus and tune. I can't drive and tune at the same time. So Ryan's gonna remote in Wednesday, I think, and just clean up the tune and the fueling for the most part, get it right so I can just drive it around, putter it around, and then we're gonna get rid of this do some E-fans, and then so I can finally put an air filter on my turbo. So yeah, I'm just like cracking away at this car and then working on this a little. So yeah. So I'm just like replacing my leading ignition coils because I was misfiring really bad. I do want to share this with you guys. So you see how I have these plug wires? By the way, these are 97 through 99 Suburban plug wires. I shared the part number previously. Realize how I have this looping through the brake line. I want these plug wires need to not be touching each other. Very important, because the you just like the signal and then the power that's being pushed through it can sometimes kind of leak out of the wire, if that makes sense, and interfere with the other wire, which can cause breakup issues and ignition issues. So you always want to make sure that your plug wires are not zip tied together, especially. So that's that. So I'm just gonna put my plug wires back in, clean up this car a little bit, and clean up stuff I don't like. All right, just finished doing like a couple things, tidying some stuff up here in the bay, just so I can get it driving to the exhaust shop, so we can finally get that done and quiet this thing down. Starts up good. Everything's all back in. I have the plug wires as far away as they can be, so we don't have any issues with our ignition system. All right, Jesus, sitting in this seat can be a pain. Should start up first try. Yeah, idle's around like 1200, 1300. Prefer a lower idle, but we'll see how it all pans out. I'm gonna keep the idle higher just so I don't have any stalling out issues and it can return to idle fine. So yeah, at least the car starts up. Got some spare spark plugs in case we fall them out, but it was idling around 12.8 through 13, so that's decent. Definitely 13.5 is target, but it's not too rich, not too lean. It's actually probably a little richer than preferable, but it shouldn't be fouling up my plugs anymore. So yeah, car is all zooted and ready to go to get the exhaust shop done. Been grinding away on that Miata, kind of done with that for the day, but yeah, good stuff. What's up, guys? It's pretty nice out today, and today we're going to bring my car over to the exhaust shop, and I get my GTI back from insurance, and I have to actually just collect a check. Get my GTI back from insurance, which is exciting. So I have that back, and how am I going to do this is actually the exhaust shop is right across from the body shop where it's getting worked on. Now, I'm kind of terrified. It's only a 15-minute drive. I mean, I did like a 40-minute drive that one day. Car ran fine. We have some spare spark plugs just in case, but everything hopefully should go well. Gonna start it up. Neighbors are probably gonna kill me, but I really don't care because I'm driving it to go get an exhaust right now, so I don't even want to be bothered. It's early in the morning. I want to get this over with because I also have work today. And yeah, got my backpack, got all my tools in my car, jack, spare tire, everything, my laptop. Let's go. stuff. Made it to the exhaust shop. As you can see, Blues Custom in Marlboro. They get the job done, no complaints. But super excited to see this car out. So there's that. Exciting. All right, car's off at the exhaust shop, dropped off, and now I'm walking to the body shop, like a half a mile, but we'll cross the street. Yeah, exciting stuff. I love walking. Also, as a fun fact, do you know the body shop where I'm getting my car worked on is where Gabe actually got his car painted? And did you know that the paint coat on Gabe's car is off of a Mark V Supra? Fun fact. All right, clearly not in the GTI. It's whatever. There were some difficulties, not really. Just long story short, insurance gave me money, and I gave a personal check, not a bank certified check, so that's gonna take a few days to process. Whatever. So, driving the Traplex. So yeah, exhaust should be done tomorrow. Apparently the appointment was tomorrow. So much for me for having a good memory. So, gonna go eat, go to work, bam. And now we are back. Oops, now we are back. FC exhaust is complete. Time to go home. Hopefully it drives half decent.
Okay, good.
All right, you filming?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I just drove the car for like the first time. Got it in a boost a little. Probably shouldn't until I break the motor fully in, but Ryan, the tuner man, don't put his phone number here.
I won't.
Ryan, I'm on the phone with Ryan Henrich.
My phone number's listed everywhere, don't worry.
Let's not. But on the phone with Ryan Henrich. How many hours did we have? We were probably like, we started around 8, so 8:15, so an hour deep, and he got the car running amazing. I didn't even know the injector data was like off. I don't know what happened. It must have happened between the link firmware update or something, but that like literally was why the car was running like garbage. But I'm gonna do a hot start for you guys. I'm gonna pull it in the garage, just make sure to film me pulling in the garage and stuff. But yeah, we're gonna pull it in the garage, and from there I need to bleed the brakes because I don't want to drive it on the highway just yet because the brakes feel terrible. Or maybe I think my booster is bad.
For my life in my office.
Yeah, it's freaking gnar. But yeah. Hold up. We're gonna get that exhaust sounds so good. Well, I can finally end this episode. I'm impressed. We're gonna do some things to get the car fully street worthy and also pass Massachusetts state inspection, which I am really good at doing, like no joke, because I make my car street legal because why not? Why have a car that you can't drive on the street? Yeah. I want to give a huge thank you to Ryan.
Thank you, buddy.
Ryan, like sometimes it takes a second eye. Ryan taught me pretty much everything I know about tuning. Well, a lot of it. And I always will credit him. So if you guys ever need proper work done for your rotary car or maybe even non-rotary, he'll probably take care of it. Link, Haltech, M-Tron, you name it. He's pretty good with his stuff. Despite all the fucking bullshit on the internet about him, he's a smart guy, and he takes care of me. you know, like we've been working on this project together for a year on the old motor, and Ryan, with no hesitation, was like, I'll take care of you. Don't worry about it. And I'm very thankful. And we're gonna eat dinner at my favorite place, the Neighborhood Tavern. So shout out to Teresa on the camera right now, and she's filming this and whatnot. I didn't get any driving clips or anything, but we'll get driving clips and stuff. I'm gonna take care of some small stuff with the car. I'm gonna raise it because I spent a lot of money on this exhaust and I don't want to destroy it, because that was a huge issue. And we're gonna put power steering and stuff back in, just tidy it up. But yeah, have a good one, guys. Thank you so much for watching.
Cheers,
Peace.
y'all.
Cheers.